doctor, lawyer, chef. And I'm like, see, like it's on the list. I get a dishwashing job at 14 and this is it.
I'm going to just start off with, what's your position? Where are you located at?
Executive chef. I'm located in Joshua, Texas.
Nice.
At La Mesa Mesquite Grill.
La Mesa Mesquite Grill. And where'd you say that is in Texas?
Joshua, Texas.
Texas.
It's about 30 miles south of Fort Worth, roughly.
Okay, nice. So you're about an hour behind me. Is it starting to, do you guys have like a season down there? Like, so our season is in the opposite of everybody else's. I feel like our busy season is at the end in the winter time, to where everybody else is like in the summer.
Ours hits in the summer, but it's sporadic in the spring and the winter.
Okay. Yeah. Anywhere hot, I feel like people are going to try to at least, vacation and get out of the bitter cold.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. So how long have you been there? How long have you been in the area at your restaurant?
At this restaurant, I helped open it.
Awesome.
I've been here, next month will be a year and a half.
Okay.
So, I mean, everything's going great. Business is successful.
Perfect. You're probably running into the same thing everybody else is, help and, all that kind of thing. I think that's pretty universal. Everybody wants to say it's only in their area, but after talking with a lot of people, it's everywhere. It's everywhere,
brother. I mean, I got friends in Washington and California that are like, man, I'm short-staffed. Yeah, brother, it's the whole industry.
It is, and I don't even think it's our industry alone. I just think it's in general. I think, people not wanting to work is it's something that's been happening forever. So I try not to get too caught up in it, because I saw this thing on Facebook. It was like clips from newspapers from even like the 1930s, like all the way up. And it's like, people don't want to work. People don't want to work. And it's like, okay, so this has been going on for a while. So
this is a common trend with humans.
Right. So now I'm like, okay, so now that I know it's not just my area, I'm not going to blame anybody. I just know it's a part of running a kitchen, or it's part of running a business. It's just something I'm going to have to deal with, and it's nobody's fault. So.
I was taught when I was coming up that as a chef, you have to pretty much be Mr. Fix-It, Mr. Handyman. Be able to handle everything. Something breaks, you got to fix it and be able to take care of the line and everything.
Yep, multiple hats. And I got the same thing. I was the dishwasher, and they're showing me how to like change the thermocouple in the fryer, and I'm like, I'm 15. I'm not.
yeah, man.
Ready for this stuff yet? But that's awesome. So what? You've been there for a year and a half. What constitutes like a perfect day for you? Even though they're very far and few between. I always like asking all the chefs what a perfect day looks like when they show up. What's the sequence of events?
For me, I like the busyness of it.
Nice.
I'm happy with like a 3-hour wait, people standing outside, and just a smooth night. Everything's running accordingly.
Yeah. People all show up for work.
Oh yeah.
Prep's getting done.
Yeah, we're ahead, not behind.
Yep. And you know what? That's been the common trend, and I've said it in another one of my podcasts too. I've asked, probably 5 or 6 people so far. All of them, they want busy. They don't want it slow. They don't want to be staring at the clock. They want to be doing something, And I think it's a really common trait amongst chefs, because not a lot of people in general are like that, to where they want to actually have shit to do. But for us, we're like, oh God, I hope it's busy. We can just slam it out. And
my ADD kind of helps a little bit too,
Yep, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm 100% for that. What about like a worst day? Do you have like any worst days, any stories, or could you describe a worst day for us, or how would that work?
Probably the worst day I've really experienced here is, and it really wasn't anything like restaurant wise on our side. It was more customer problem. I had some guests leaving, and they tripped and dropped ranch, and it went all over this elderly lady's husband, and she proceeded to call the cops.
For ranch?
Yeah, for an attack of ranch.
Shut up.
I swear, man.
So what happened? Did the cop show up? Was she?
The cop showed up and pretty much told her that there's really nothing we can do. It was an accident.
Oh, I mean, what was the outcome even be? Like, what did she want the cop to do?
I don't know whether she was trying to get them to get her a refund or something. I don't know. But
oh my God.
She was upset that, I mean, it literally just went like from his shoulder about mid chest, and that was it. And she thought like somebody had beat him up.
Oh my God. How was he though? Was he
Oh, he was totally okay with it. He was laughing about it.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this isn't a big deal. Maybe you shouldn't call the cops, sweetie."
Right.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I've been doused. The only chain I worked for ever was the Miller's Ale House. I don't know if you guys have them over there, but it's they have like this huge walk-in. I mean, the thing's like 15 feet high. It's crazy. But the dressings, the guys always like unscrewed a little bit and like popped it open and then didn't undo the whole thing, but just so you can like pour it into the squeeze bottle.
Right.
And I was pulling one off like over my head, and I'm trying to be lazy and I'm trying to just do it like over my head up there. And I had the whole like a green goddess dressing just douse me from like head to toe. And it was, oh man, I smelled like garlic and parsley for the whole day. I was like all oily, like no amount of soap or anything could get it taken off.
Right.
You know, it's just crazy. I mean, I got a new shirt. They were pretty stingy about giving shirts out, but they did give me a new shirt that day. You know, so it's crazy. And this guy got like a 4-ounce little tub of ranch on him, and he had to, you know, go to the ER.
Yeah. Yeah. She thought he was assaulted.
Yeah, no, I mean he was more of a ranched.
Yeah, ranched. You have been sauced, sir.
Right. So, what do you have any future plans? Are you happy where you're at right now? Do you like you like your spot?
That's a good question, brother. I am actually in January. I will be leaving restaurants for good.
Oh shit! Okay.
And large caterings as well. I'm going to go full time into private chef gigs, and my long-term goal is about 1.5 to 2 years, no later, be on a yacht cooking.
Yeah, no, you definitely can. There's the business out there. I mean, it does get a little monotonous. I'm down here in Southwest Florida, and you know, there's a lot of money down here. You know, I do catering now. I was in restaurants forever, but I've cooked on many boats, many yachts, and it's cool, you know. But you're still gonna want that action. I promise you.
Right.
You know.
I've been doing this almost coming up on 30 years, roughly.
Oh yeah.
And it's just grinding out in the restaurants, man, that I've missed so much. I need that freedom of life. Like,
I totally get it.
I'm 42. I got 4 grandkids now. So.
Oh shoot! Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally get it from that standpoint. At some point in time, we got to stop the grind and we got to figure out a different way.
Right.
You know, I've known forever that I'm just not going to be able to sit and cook on a line for 30 years. It just breaks everything down. And, you know, it's a part of it, but.
The carpal tunnels getting to me, man. The bone spurs, the lifting stuff constantly. Back in 2017, I had 2 heart attacks while working on a shift. Two? It was on a Friday night. I don't know if y'all have got Abuelo's Mexican food restaurant out there. Well, I was working at Abuelo's, and it was like a busy Friday night, and had a heart attack on the line and didn't even know it.
How?
You know the green wire racks?
Yep.
I was pushing my spine up against those all night so I could breathe, and just thought I was having back pain and chest pain.
Right.
And closed down everything, left work, hit my exit ramp to go home, and had another one. And when I went into the hospital, they said I had 2 major heart attacks due to stress.
Holy shit, man.
And that's
crazy.
That's another reason I'm trying to get out of this, man, is like more freedom for that.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. I mean, to secure yourself in a position where it's not so. I mean, the whole job's labor intensive, and the whole job has some sort of mental stress on it. But how much you can do and how you can organize it yourself is totally different when you're working for yourself or you're working for a company that gives you the time.
Right.
You know, I think I gravitated towards catering after being in restaurants for like 12 years because I still get that, you know, rush feeling, that crazy, but it's different. I'm not having tickets spit out at me. I'm not having customers getting all pissed off every single night or not or whatever. I mean, it still happens, but at least with catering, I know what's ahead of me. I know if my week's going to be busy. I know
it's
my food
a little
order,
more personal.
It's just different.
That's what I like about it. It's,
you know,
you're actually more personal with your client.
Of course, you're right there in front of them. You're not stuck behind, you know, in a kitchen somewhere and then, you know, relying on your servers and stuff. And you still do in catering, but, you know, it's just different. You know, 4 or 5 days a week, I'm going home by 5 or 6. I'm not going home at 10.
Right.
You know, and the only times I go home at 10 is like when we have a late event. But it's, again, when people are finished eating around 7 or 8, whether it's a 20-person party or 300, you know, I can send my chefs home or I can go home or whatever. It's not 10 to 10 every single day or 11 to 11 every single day and you're not getting home till midnight. It's just a different kind of stress. And I think that's why I like catering so much. I do miss the line a little bit, but I just know it's not sustainable forever.
Right. And I did caterings for a while. I used to do caterings for the National Guard all over the U.S.
Oh, crazy.
And that was a rush, man. Like that's a rush. Like, it's different than the line. Like,
it's different though, right?
The government, because I would bid out jobs like 6 to 9 months,
crazy.
And they would wait till it was like 3 or 4 days, 5 days before the job, and then be like, "Okay, go."
Oh my God! Yeah,
and it was always in some little podunk town that didn't have any. Like, Walmart is the closest thing, and it's like 2-hour drive. You know what I mean? And you're cooking for like $450 per meal.
Oh, yeah. So how do you get involved in that? Do you have to go through like an organization, or do you have to go through like, how do you get?
I actually had a business partner who was already deeply involved in that, and he kind of turned me onto it.
Okay.
And I got out of it strictly for the fact that it just took too long to get paid.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Government is net 30.
Oh, so you do it, you pay for everything, all your staff has to get paid, whatever, and you still got to wait a month for your check. Yeah, that's brutal.
And they tell you, oh, well, it could be the next day, but usually it ends up being closer to the 30.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's not like they don't have the money either, right?
Right. And then, I mean, that's another thing, like, you know, trying to tell your staff, like, hey, you know, going to be a little longer, or hey, I got you now. I don't know when the next job is. I mean,
I hit that with catering a lot. Yeah,
but they would they would like let you know you had the job like super late, and you're having to find somewhere to cook offsite, somewhere.
And you said
sleep.
It was 300 people plus.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God,
it varied. I mean, and you could be there for 2 weeks at a time, a month. I've done as little as 27 people per meal and all the way up to 1,500 per meal.
Holy cow. That's insane.
Yeah, 1,500 was, it was pretty nuts. It was fun, but it was nuts.
Yeah, and then you have to, again, if they're telling you less than a week out, you have to basically do magic and like, figure it out. And, you know, that I don't operate like that. I mean, as far as I learned it very on when I was starting the catering company, that, you know, they need to be booked out, and they have to have deposits in by a certain time,
right?
Or else I'm not even going to put them on the calendar, you know?
And see, that's kind of how, like, that was the only saving grace for me, was my financial partner he's like, all right, I got you on, I'll cover all the expenses for, you know, flying people out, Airbnbs, wherever we're going to cook. All the food.
That's wild.
I was like, awesome.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, so Peter in the group, he's doing some stuff like that where he's flying people over. You know, and that's pretty wild. You know, I've met him down here in Southwest Florida, and I had one of my guys go help because we, like I said, in the summertime we just dead. We're slow, so it hurts me a little bit too because I don't like seeing my staff, struggle or anything.
Right.
So he actually helped me out a little bit and threw my guy a week of work down here, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything crazy. But
I'm gonna be working with them.
Yeah, you should.
January.
I mean, it's just to see what it's about. I think his idea is really good. I think there's a market for it, and if he can do it organized and right, I don't see an issue at all with it. And especially for people that, like, for instance, I grew up in North Idaho. I moved down here a little over 10 years ago, but it would have been awesome at that time of my life to be able to jump on something like that and go work somewhere for a week or two to see if I even liked it,
Man, this is, it's kind of perfect for me. Like I said, I've got 4 grandkids, so finally my kids are out of the house. They got their own kids. My wife is okay with me traveling, so
right.
I plan to go experience the full 9 yards of culinary.
Yeah, I mean, and if that's an opportunity that you can't, I mean, even just going into somebody else's restaurant, once you get past like that arrogant stage of cooking that we all do, just going and working in someone else's restaurant for a few days is like, oh, you do that here? Oh, that's cool. Oh, you do that here? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's a good opportunity for lots of people, especially people that are trying to learn other stuff. You're not going to take all positive things from every restaurant, but you're going to take something.
Right.
And I think it's really cool. I think he's got a good idea going for him. And,
I wish I had this opportunity years and years ago.
Right. I mean, because once you're in the leadership roles and you're, sous chef or head chef or owner or whatever, you're learning the ability to learn. You have to go out and seek it and do it yourself.
Right.
Versus it's just normal when you're a line cook and you're working at different places. You're learning all this stuff from different places. New recipes, the chef's bringing you new stuff to do, new prep, the chef's bringing you new stuff to do. But once you're in the chef's position, you're like, okay, I'm doing a bunch of stuff that I already know how to do, and I get stuck in this repetitive thing, and I'm not bringing any more knowledge in, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to figure that out.
Oh man, I'm ridiculous. I try and be a sponge.
You're right.
Probably about 9 years ago, I had a sheet tray full of sauteed mushrooms hit me right here.
No way.
It gave me 100% culinary amnesia.
No, come on.
I had no idea how to fry an egg.
No, come on.
Swear. Until I actually touched the pan and somebody would be trying to teach me and I'd touch the pan and it was just like a flood of knowledge. Oh wow, I can cook all these eggs now.
That's wild. I'm sorry. I don't mean
to laugh. It was crazy,
but,
man.
I don't mean to laugh, but I don't know another expression to make. I've never.
Oh no, laugh, bro. It was a journey.
Well, what do you mean you got hit with it? Did somebody throw it? Did it fall off something?
No, the wonderful stack on top of a speed rack.
Uh-huh. Oh, it was on the speed rack. It wasn't in it.
Yeah, it was on top of it. I didn't even touch the speed rack. I leaned over to look for something on my station, and next thing I know, I'm on the ground wow, that hurt.
No way.
Yeah, that was I was working at Del Frisco's Grill in South Lake, Texas.
Okay. Yeah, there's a restaurant out in Texas. I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a CH, I want to say. It's like a Japanese place. He's all, I think it's a German guy that does sushi there. Ichi or Uchi. It's called Uchi, I think.
Uchi.
UCHI.
Yeah, I think
somebody gave me a cookbook 5 years ago, and they're in Texas somewhere, and the garnishes in his book are insane. This, wow. I haven't really read all the other thing, but his whole philosophy is, creating the perfect bite. And I'm like, okay, right. That's pretty sweet. Just one bite. I
can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I do that a lot with flavor. I don't look at it as cream and tomato. I look at it as a pH and an acid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can dive a little deep into that if you get too much.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
But hey, we're at about 20 minutes. I want to try to get all this stuff in there. Where can we find you? Do you want to let anybody know where you're at? You have any stories or something you want to tell us? How do you want to close this thing out?
I will be located in probably Miami, Florida come January.
Awesome. Yeah. And Peter's a perfect person for Miami. That's his hood.
Yeah.
So reach out to him, like personally, like just send him a message. He's over there way more over here. I'm about 2 hours away on the other coast. So,
okay.
But that's awesome. We'll let everybody know that. And it was really awesome having you on here. I want to do this again for sure. So just look out, or you can reach out too. And, if in a couple months something happens, say, hey, I got this stuff going on. It'd be really cool to get on the podcast again. I'm all for it. I like talking to other chefs,
I dig it too. I dig the networking.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being here, and have a great rest of your day and go kill it.
All right. You too, brother. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you for listening to the Savour Food Podcast. We really enjoyed talking to all of you. Have a great day and go kill it.